Are there lines coming across?
Oh, we're going to do a fucking intro, too.
Hey, lines? I like that. The Japanese flag. That was good.
Did you?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I'm a good visual guy.
Yeah.
Here's our intro. Welcome to the fucking Seattle Smoke Show podcast.
Killing it.
It is Friday, the 14th?
Something. It's a day.
We missed a bullet. It's not the 13th. We dodged that one.
You know, I was actually born on Friday the 13th.
That's not surprising.
True story. It was also a full moon
It's a
and
dark
Mercury
day.
was in retrograde. And I'm kidding, I made those last two up.
They might have been.
There was an eclipse that day.
I don't know what any of that means.
I'm a Libra.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. Friday the 13th, though, for real. Shout out to me.
That's a good one.
Actually, my parents for doing it.
The joints I got today are pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were sold to me by a guy who trained me at High Relief initially, and his opinion was all infused joints are garbage. If the oil that they were putting in there was worth a shit, they would be packaging it for dabs, not smearing it on flour and rolling it so you can't see it.
Disrespectful.
That's the way he felt, was if the oil is being used for a pre-roll, it's garbage oil.
That's
if it was very good oil, they would be packaging it separately.
Honestly, I feel that same way about the joints they sell, like the regular joints when they sell packs of like 20 joints or something like that.
Agreed.
And I'm like, man, if this was actually good weed, they would have just sold it, in grams or eighths or ounces. Like, you're not gonna.
See, my thing
that's
is,
why I would think
everybody-
that too, but
Everybody says, my joint is full flour. Everyone's lying. They're all full of shit. Because if you go over on the shelf and the joint is $6 or $7, and then you go over to the other shelf and a gram of flour from that company is $10, $12, $13,
Yeah,
that is not the same shit.
Yeah,
there
it's
is
not.
no way that's the same shit. That the further processed stuff is half the price of the regular stuff on the shelf. There's no way.
I can't believe it. All right.
That's bad business. That'd be just bad business.
What that
Yeah.
really is
We're
the
going to start
new
with a
age-
sativa
Oh, hey, please and thank you.
so that we feel like smoking the indica in a minute.
Yeah.
and then
This
we're
is-
going to do dabs.
Chem Dog,
Jesus.
very
Dabs.
sativa-leaning hybrid. This is a Boggy Boon hash joint, which is one of only two types of joints that the guy who trained me that all infused joints are garbage said these are not actually garbage.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
So he's a shill. He's getting paid
he's
by Boggy Boon.
he's
a Boggy Boon shill, huh?
He's a
Yes.
Boggy Boon shill, yeah.
It's a hard one to say 5 times fast.
Nobody
Boggy
calls
Boon
it
shill.
Boggy Boon. Everybody's like, I want the Boogie Boon or the
Oh, the
Body
Sasquatch guy.
yeah. They always
I don't
say
know what
they
you're
never
talking
call it Boggy Boon, but they
Show
also
them the
call
picture
I
of
don't,
it.
I don't know what they're saying. These words
Their
don't make sense.
logo is Sasquatch
Oh, okay, that's dope.
in the
But-
trees.
customers also call OG Chem either Og Chem or OG Chem or
Yeah.
Og Chem.
First time I got it, I said Chem.
So every time somebody comes in and says, I want the OG Chem, I'm like, you want the Og Chem? Okay. And they say, I want the Og Chem. I'm like, the Og Chem?
Yeah.
I-
Just switch it up every time?
Well, no. I always correct them to making it even worse. If they have half of the word right, I correct them to make it fully wrong.
Yeah.
I started out when I started.
It's a little fuck
I
yous
would,
in life,
I would
David.
be like,
Kinda
it's the little
sadistic.
fuck yous. That's what it's about. I used to correct people to make it proper, but it turns out old people just really like to say things wrong.
That's true.
And so it didn't matter how many times I corrected people, they would still say it wrong every time they come in, as if it were the first time they've been there.
Fucking dogs
Also,
and tricks.
old people, you do not have to pretend like it's your first time in the weed store every single time you come in, okay? You don't have to act like you don't know what indica and sativa.
Yeah.
You
They
don't
gotta
have
keep
to
up
call
the
it
front.
that sativa, the sativa stuff, the indica. What? How do you say it? The same way you said it 2 days ago when you came in and bought the other joint, lady.
Nah, man.
Hey, that's how you know she's smoking some real fire.
I was gonna
right
say
there.
the best thing is she forgot that she was in there 2 days
Yeah.
ago, so she genuinely doesn't know how to say an indica.
Yeah.
Indigo.
No, I remember my first time smoking this weed called Amnesia, and I'm like, this is just regular weed. True story.
Amnesia's really good weed.
Exactly. But all weed
It's
gives,
my favorite sativa.
all weed gives me amnesia.
It does.
And I love it.
The first store I worked at, Amnesia Haze, was one of our premier strains. And every time somebody would come get it, they'd come back the next time and be like, man, last time I was in there, I had this killer sativa. You recommended it to me, but
Don't remember. what
man,
it's
I
called.
can't remember the name of it for the life of me. Was it Amnesia? Yeah! Yeah. It does its job. It does a really good job.
Shit's ridiculous.
I like ATF.
Alaskan Thunderfuck is wonderful.
Yeah, that's a classic.
I
too,
think
by
that's
way.
the best. Or Matanuska.
It's a super...
That's one of the oldest.
MTF,
That's one of the
same
oldest
thing.
strains. Literally.
It's a
It just got
It's a
rediscovered.
really scatterbrained kind of sativa. Very similar, actually, to Amnesia Haze. I just like Amnesia a little bit. I have a soft spot for Amnesia.
They had stuff called ATF, but it wasn't actually the original ATF. And
Yeah.
then,
MTF
and then,
is
10 years ago,
the
they found
actual
some
original
MTF.
because
plant.
it started out, they just called it Alaskan Thunderfuck, and then a whole bunch of Alaskan Thunderfuck came up all over the place, and the people who originally grew it in the Matanuska Valley went, okay, you guys can all call that ATF if you want, but the real shit comes from the Matanuska Valley, and it's going to be called Matanuska Thunderfuck now.
Makes sense.
That's good.
But regardless of that, if you bought it in Washington, it's not Alaskan anything. It was grown in Washington.
That's probably true. We have a lot of growers.
Yeah, but that doesn't,
Everything
that
here
doesn't
has to
matter.
be sold here has to be grown here.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you can say that, though.
What do you mean?
You could bring some weed up from Cali.
All right,
and be
man.
like,
This
hey,
isn't real
I grew
bubble
this
gum
here.
that they grew out of the ground.
I'm just saying,
It's just a name.
when
You
it
can't
calls
grow
it
bubble gum out of the ground,
when it
man.
calls it, Cali Kush, it's not grown in California.
Unless
it's not
it's-
from
well,
California.
Unless it
It's a
is
name.
the name Cali Kush.
No, but that's my...
And then it doesn't matter where it's
you
grown.
got a seed of that plant and grew it in different conditions, and you produced a different kind of weed
My point...
It's still Cali Kush.
Sure.
in name,
And
but probably not in effect.
It's like a
probably in,
brand name.
in species,
That's why
though,
Frank
it is.
Lucas killed all his friends. Okay? You don't take the real shit and turn it into a knockoff. You make your own shit. My point
What
was...
kind of
somebody
shit
else-
beer did you bring?
Oh my god. First of all, these beers are delicious. Second of all...
No, I meant the shit beer that you had to. The shit in the black bag
Oh.
that I can't see. That's got to be what you brought for me.
Yeah, that's the shit you want. That's the PBR. You can
Oh, dude! I fucking-
get... Rick, what's your line when I
want-
say PBR?
Do I go to China, bro?
Yeah, you go to China and drink it out of a glass for
Dude, I'm gonna go
$12.
get me like a fluted champagne goblet.
I want to get a chalice for
Yeah.
for my
Well, there will
PBR.
be a bill at the end of this. As if it were in glass, so just pretend.
I'm gonna pour it into this fucking
Dude, right?
Og Chim skull.
Before you get your treat, you have to try the Sierra Nevada, and it's the Sierra Nevada Summer Fest.
It's a crisp
Because-
lager.
Crisp log. That actually sounds good. Crisp lager.
It's a
sounds
lot
like-
lighter than the rest of them, but it's not going to be as good as the sessions we had. The sessions were top three. One of my favorite beers all time.
It tastes like an extra flavorful Budweiser.
I'm okay with that.
I'm not.
It's good coming from me because I think Budweiser tastes good, and I think most of your beer doesn't.
Yeah. I'm also...
I don't know. Anybody who listens to this podcast will know that I keep going, I don't like your beer, and then he hands it to me, and I'm like, that's not bad.
Yeah. Dude, last time I was 3 for 4.
Right?
The sessions pack was lit. I almost bought it again.
It was good.
So here, you want one of your PBRs, bud?
Yeah.
Of course you do.
The champagne of cheap beer.
Apparently, according to Rick.
Dude. PBRs are great.
Yeah. And every time I always get
Dude,
the
I'm
16s.
kind of a little traumatized from yesterday.
Traumatized.
What happened yesterday?
My son had a circumcision.
Wow. Did you watch it?
I did.
Child porn.
Don't you love how...
You're-
It was
Child
interesting.
porn.
No, hold on.
You
It was
are
interesting
a sex offender now.
because the doctor comes in with an iPad and is like, "All right, so these are some of the things you're looking for."
Whoa.
Baby dicks.
No
Like,
way.
straight up
All
baby
pictures
dicks.
of baby dicks.
All baby dicks.
Dude.
I was like, I don't.
You can't bring that
That's
home
a
with you.
bad laptop to have.
That's an iPad. That's an iPad I'm leaving
you
at
gotta
work, for
burn
sure.
that iPad when you're done with it, man. And these are one-time use iPads. Load the pictures on
You
them.
can't
and
even
just
look at
burn
the
'em.
pictures twice. Right after he swipes it deletes it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
But it
It's
was
a pedipad.
it was definitely interesting to say the least.
Interesting. Really, you pedophile?
No, it was terrifying.
What I don't understand is why people are like, you cannot perform an abortion after this time because these children have heartbeats and feelings, and you can't do these things to them because it will hurt them. But right after they're born, you can cut their dick off with no anesthetic, and that's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
there is an anesthetic. Yeah, there's two. So there's an ointment that they put on that.
Top-
that
Okay, so they put a
no.
little topical cream on
Stand
them.
by. Let me finish. They put a topical cream on it. Like that's actually a pretty fucking hardcore one. That
Nice.
anyways, that's on there for
one of
about
those, Rick?
15 minutes.
They did
And
enough
then-
to let him cut to your son that you'd have let him cut on your dick after they did that?
Yeah, and then they injected
Whoa, just
2
saying
needles
those
into
words.
the base of his dick,
Oh, yeah, that's numb.
That's new.
It's numb.
and
That's
they
new.
numbed it
It's
the
numb
fuck
for
up,
sure.
bro.
That's new.
It was a vial that was probably about 1.5 inches of
Did he,
fluid.
okay, hold on. Did he cry?
Yeah, it was cold as fuck.
Cried. So,
He
okay.
felt it.
It's a baby. We don't know what he's crying about.
That's
okay?
Actually, the entire
just
time
like-
he's talking to you the whole time he's doing it. So he's like, "All right, well, he's going to cry a little bit here, but it's
That's-
not from pain; it's from the temperature change. Because when you're
if he can feel the temperature change, then he can feel the knife cutting his dick.
That's what we thought, too.
when you have a numb finger or something like that, you can still feel it. But
so that is actually an entirely different nerve that has nothing to do with pain. The only way to stop the temperature change is to get an epidural in your back.
That's cutting off all circulation.
So like the 2 shots they stuck in the base of his dick.
No,
and that didn't cut it off either?
You have to stop it off the base of the spine.
Yeah.
It's not a pain receptor. It's a temperature change.
Those are the nerves that make you go paralyzed.
So have you?
They can't warm up the scalpel.
So when if you've been to if you've ever been to the dentist, you would know because when they numb up your teeth, when they numb up your gums, you can still feel the temperature change of the water.
Yeah,
that's true.
But you don't feel the pain of it. Yeah. So that's
my son. It was different.
Dude, it was 100%. No, because that was
not like
so
this.
After
Has got to be new because
new segment, baby
zero
dicks.
Right like zero anesthetic circumcision is what happened to me. What happened to my? There might have been some kind of cream.
Honestly, I don't know what happened to me.
No, so
I just know.
So what they do?
It's
functional. I'll be as least descriptive as possible.
No complaints.
But it's actually not that bad. So there's a little metal cap, basically, that's about...
that doesn't mean I don't want to know.
About an inch and a half long. No, it's basically they put that metal cap over the head of the dick, so there's no chance of them cutting.
You're doing hand gestures right now. I don't want to see it.
I'm just saying, so there's no chance of them cutting the actual dick off.
Oh, they have a dick shield.
So they give it a fucking bowl cut rather than actually doing surgery.
It's a reverse bowl cut. It's like a cylinder
shortcut ass bullshit.
No, that's smart.
No, this is the number one doctor in Washington for this.
I mean, number one baby dick. He's not a real surgeon.
Well, actually,
he cuts baby dicks.
Actually,
I'm a pediatric surgeon. Yeah, that's
this is all he does is cut off baby dicks.
That's all you do.
That's all he does is cut off baby dicks.
Yeah. But when he's at the club, he's a pediatric surgeon.
Why did you have your kid circumcised?
For a couple different reasons. It was actually my girl did not at all want to have him circumcised.
Fucking
period.
And I was want to get him vaccinated.
And we did. We got them both. We got them both vaccinated.
Was it under the table?
No, it was not.
Okay.
But so we were trying to decide, and we were going back and forth over it. And then I heard on another podcast from a doctor's podcast, who's an actual legitimate doctor, and he was talking about circumcision, and he was talking about how it is frequent to have problems with.
Hey, you're sticking the joint in the hairbrush.
Yeah. I wonder if the royal baby's circumcised.
Yes,
of course.
And after that, if they did circumcise him, how much is that extra baby dick skin worth?
So basically,
they're going to have it sewn into a wallet that if you rub it for a little while, it turns into a briefcase.
So basically, the reason why we ended up getting it done is because it's better to have it done now when he's a baby. Doesn't have to feel, doesn't necessarily have to go through as much pain that he remembers.
Babies feel.
Okay, they do. I'm not going to argue that point.
God, I have so many jokes. Let it go.
They're having to do it when he's like.
We don't want to hear your jokes about feeling babies, okay?
I'm letting them all go, okay?
Basically, then later on in life. Because there's a condition where the foreskin doesn't retract and gets hard, and it's a serious condition that leads to most people having adult
dick problems.
No, for adult circumcision surgeries.
Oh, okay.
And it's more severe when you're
adult circumcision. Those are also two words I never want to ask.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the conversation
special half off.
So it goes like this: is the conversation
like
is it better to feel bad about it now a little bit, or to have to go through the explanation with your son as to why he's going through this pain?
Do it all now.
Then having to go through surgery, build up to the surgery, and then going through all the surgery for it.
Okay, but there's levels. There's levels to the shit, though. There's levels to the shit. Okay, so the next level would be getting your kid's ears pierced.
It's not, though. Because actually...
That's the next level, though, is what I'm saying. Like, because they're not going to remember and they're not going to feel it.
No.
And they can take them out later if they want to, whatever.
No, it's different. It's like...
No?
Until they are old enough to say that they want it, you should not have their ears pierced.
See? That's what my mom did.
I know people that have their 2-year-olds ears pierced.
Yeah, I know people that stab their children, too.
But you do? Have you told the FBI about that?
I mean... I don't think they'd be as upset as I am.
But
this
you're not
is a
ready.
personal opinion.
You're not ready for level 3, though.
I don't think you should stab holes into your children. You shouldn't give them a piercing for the same reason you shouldn't give them a tattoo.
Ooh, that's level 3. That's where I was going with this. Okay?
Yeah, I think a tattoo is different. Maybe.
In a lot of places, people will tattoo their children. And sometimes it's like,
tattoos are removable. It's not any more permanent than anything else.
Third world countries and shit. Or crazy hipsters.
In African tribes, they have the...
Oh, you're talking about gangbangers?
No.
Oh.
What?
I'm kidding.
No.
Only you get to make that.
Serious.
I know. Right?
That's not cool.
An actual, they do the scarification.
Yeah,
where they do the bumps.
That's what I said. Third world countries, or like it happens in gangs and shit. Like if you're born into like an MS family, you might get a 13 tattoo by the time you're born.
You're definitely gonna
before
get.
You remember, you might literally
married
on the side of your infant.
maybe not that big, but like
while you scream, it don't matter. You're gonna grow up to be the most gangster motherfucker there ever was.
That is already the most.
Does it stretch too? Because you got a small baby face,
right? No, it's a big ass like. Yeah, it says 100. It says like 13,000 by the time you're
nice.
But my son, he was circumcised for one reason. We asked the doctor about it. What are the medical ramifications? And he said, well, it's cleaner. There's various different little things that.
Was it a female or a male?
It was male.
Doctor. I want female doctor
various
opinions.
Different reasons they said, but the one thing is, in the history of man, there has never been a circumcised man that got penile cancer.
Ooh.
Ever. Okay. And I was like, well...
So what you're saying is I can put my dick in whatever I want now.
100% immunization from a particular disease. If I can give that to my kid, abso-fucking-lutely.
Sounds like a challenge, honestly. Because I've been circumcised, and now it's just, you do whatever you want.
So actually...
There's no way I can get
dick cancer.
What if I go rub my dick on a nuclear reactor? That's
so
then you're gonna die.
That's true.
Not get dick cancer.
My whole body's gonna get cancer.
Chernobyl might. Time. You might if you go to Chernobyl and stick your dick in.
You could be
Chernobyl.
an Instagram model.
What if we bang in Chernobyl?
Well, I don't want to bang you in Chernobyl.
No, not us.
But if you were to bang in Chernobyl,
woman.
Well, there's a bunch of animals in Chernobyl that live in.
Whoa! As long they'd have to weigh more than me. Okay, we already said this.
Well, that's true too.
And
you know what? In a nuclear disaster zone, I'm willing to let you forgo the rules. I feel like
I disagree with bestiality.
In a nuclear disaster zone, that's a no-man's zone.
What kind of disaster?
A nuclear.
A nuclear?
A nuclear.
Nuclear.
As I said.
Nuclear. All right.
Oh,
nuclear.
Fuck.
I have homies that say nuclear still.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Nuclear. There you go.
Nuclear.
You know what? It's nuclear.
There's only one
you fucking heathens,
in nuclear.
Okay?
Yeah, and it's a long one. It's got the little thing over it.
Nuclear is something that Bill and Ted use to describe something that's totally nuclear, dude. But it does not mean anything that has to do with radiation.
It's closer to tubular.
I know, but I don't really like to enunciate the word.
It's because you're Spanish.
All right, Bush. Look.
Hey, you know what? We wish that Bush was back. So maybe if this is like his calling. This is like his like love song, like
his swan song.
I don't know. The Iraq War was pretty bad.
He's like, huh?
He was good all the way up until the Iraq War.
No, my girl,
like what, year 3?
My girl did not want to have it done at all, and finally I convinced her about it. And then she was still feeling super bad afterwards, and then she found out that someone that is very close to her that she knows is going through that right now.
I would have just pulled out my dick and just been like, hey, look,
the foreskin isn't retracting. He's like a young kid. And so now they have to go in for consultation for a circumcision for this.
Grown-ass man.
You know why? Because he's not jerking
a teenager. Oh, fuck. That's way worse.
He's not spanking the monkey enough. He's not pulling his foreskin back and working it out.
Or he's doing too much.
He just let it sit there and let that shit grow shut.
Apparently.
You gotta work, you gotta work a muscle or it atrophies.
But what if you do it too much? That's all flappy
It's just
and
skin, though.
And it's loose. You got a roast beef.
Some chicks
you got a roast beef dick. Nobody wants that. Okay?
Someone wants that.
Somebody does.
That's true. It's probably a fetish somewhere.
It's definitely a man in some weird place.
Wow.
Boston. in the depths of 44th building.
Shots fired. Oh, God.
What the fuck did Boston do to you, bro?
They're into some freaky stuff.
I guess so. I'm sorry.
That's what I heard.
I mean, I'm just saying.
I didn't see it, but this one homie I knew told me so it must be true.
Either way.
Dude.
Doing that shit as a teenager?
It'd be terrible.
Circumcised as a teenager?
It would be terrible.
When you're going through puberty?
You're going to walk into school like,
That's
you know what, though?
What happens when, they say don't touch your dick for a month?
I would just make it up.
2 weeks in, as a teenager, it's just fucking time. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like,
it's healed after 2 weeks.
But, I mean, you could be before that point.
So a weekend, a day in.
Yeah, right.
He
6
walks
hours
through the thing and goes, ooh, freshly laid linoleum. I mean, it's a teenager. You don't fucking know.
That's true.
I don't know about linoleum. That was definitely not a fetish of mine. Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
You just talked about a fetish in Boston.
I didn't talk about it. You talked about it. And I said where I thought that someone would have that
but
fetish.
linoleum's too crazy.
No, I just said,
too crazy.
No, I just said I personally do not have that fetish. There are plenty of linoleum fetishes.
So that you guys are aware, this is not one of mine. though there are myriad, but I'm circumcised, so this is not one of mine, but there are people who
shout out to cut up baby dicks.
Is stretching their foreskin around stuff, like putting stuff in the end of their foreskin.
Yeah. Oh, it's what's that called? Docking.
Yeah.
Is that what that's called?
No, when two gay guys do it.
With each other's. I guess I never heard of that.
Just fucking it overlaps.
I never heard of it.
And then
You're missing out on so much in life.
It's like the exact opposite of a double-edged dildo, right?
Yeah.
The exact opposite.
I see what you. That's.
Think about that.
No, I already did. I don't
the
like
ramifications.
Except there's nothing fake about it. It's 100% real.
Hey, look, I've seen a lot of weird shit, especially in porn. Because I got weird tastes. That
Especially
is
in
not
porn.
one I was aware of.
Yeah.
And that's rare. I'm telling you. That's one I had not heard
Don't
of.
ask me how I know that either.
Guess what the number one search in David's house is going to be tonight?
It's going to be a bunch of boats.
Serious.
Same thing it always is. I can't let anybody Google anything on my phone. It doesn't even matter that I use incognito mode. It doesn't matter.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does. You're just terrible at using incognito
No, it
mode.
does. It just doesn't matter for, the FBI and everybody else.
For a matter of predictive text, if when you go to Google...
That means you have a third-party keyboard.
Right.
Your keyboard's remembering things that you type into it.
Okay.
Somebody can hack your keyboard,
When
your keyboard app, and steal all your passwords.
You know what? I type it into Google, my keyboard still wants to predict...
dirty shit.
Can I tell you? This is a problem that Apple does not have. Everything that you've just said.
Okay, so maybe Samsung overstepped, and they've been using a technology Apple's just coming across now for the last decade.
No, it's not that.
It's the other way around.
It's that Apple.
You were allowed to.
It's that Apple is more locked down as far as terms of what they allow inside the App Store than Google is. So Google allows
or anybody.
A lot
what
more.
I'm saying is,
so much
Apple's new shit on the market is all shit that Samsung has had for a while.
It's true.
None of their new shit is new to most people.
100%.
Not the most.
I don't think they have a single thing that's newer than anything.
They keep coming up with stuff and going, this is the new hotness on Apple that Samsung has had for 5 years.
Yeah, but they do it better, and then their shit doesn't break.
Okay, but Samsung does it
Disagree.
first.
Disagree.
And if it breaks,
the phone itself might not break, but they already told you they release updates that slow it down. So it might not break, but they slow it down.
Where's that foldable tablet they were coming out with?
They still have a foldable phone.
So where's Apple?
It just doesn't last as long as
Where's Apple's?
They never said they were coming out with one.
But Samsung will have it.
Give it about 5 years.
Before Apple, I guarantee.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Like what?
Okay, you want to talk about good ideas or bad ideas?
Oh, like Face ID?
Because Face ID's been out forever.
Yeah, they had that long before on Samsung.
They had retina scans. They didn't have unlock
Face
your phone.
ID. Bro, you get retina scans.
They've had a face recognition ID on Samsung for 10 years. That's not new. That's old. In fact, one of the guys that I worked with at Lake Stevens had it on his phone, and we made fun of him because I could take a picture of his face and hold that picture up in front of the phone, and it would recognize it.
Oh, that's good.
If you held it just right.
That's good.
So I could use a picture of him to open his phone.
That was a retina.
It's a lighting thing.
No, they got a retina display, but that doesn't mean anything. They don't have any better
Honestly, all that AI shit sucks anyways. That's why it's not
Super effective.
And it doesn't matter whose phone you got. Unless it's a Huawei, it sucks after a year and is almost unusable after 2.
Right, which is why Huawei's banned in the United States. Right. We'd be both on Huawei's dick right now.
Right.
It was allowed.
Absolutely.
Huawei's actually have the best stuff coming out, like, period. The absolute best cameras. People were like, this is bullshit. There's no possible way that they have this good of a picture. And then it came out and they're like, oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, it's the fucking...
it actually does.
Okay.
The Kia.
No, you want to know why we can't have Huawei in the U.S.? The reason is... No. The reason is because they refuse to allow the NSA a backdoor or give them any form of access to the phones. So they have been outlawed in the U.S. Apple,
nice. Contraband.
Apple doesn't do that.
No, I won't. You could probably get them.
No, they will.
More expensive
They don't. They have no way to access. This is what they say now. There's no way to access
what they say now.
The your phone without that. I mean, there's hacks and stuff that you can buy that like hackers do. But there's $30,000 pieces of software out there that NSA uses.
This is I love this. Okay, this is the.
But for the encryption software, you can't get into it.
Like,
yeah, you can.
$30,000 is like 5 seconds pay.
I know, and then they come out with updates to stop that. Like, specifically, that's what Apple does.
It's true. They buy their own anti-encryption software, which is smart. It's a good cybersecurity technique.
They actually specifically said,
but it still doesn't work.
They're having the FBI and Apple are specifically having an encryption dispute. Continue to resist encryption backdoor proposal by FBI, U.S. DOJ.
Yes, they had this problem
May
a long time
2018.
ago, but it's not a real problem. That's a legal problem we're talking about. This is not a black market problem.
No,
this is a legal problem where I can't get a warrant for your phone and have them forcibly unlock your phone, even if you have ridiculously
Apple hold it up to their face.
Tim Cook,
while they're in handcuffs.
Tim Cook says Apple's refusal to unlock iPhones for the FBI is a civil liberties issue.
Yeah, civil liberties.
So they locked it down so they cannot get into it themselves.
Yeah.
So then when the government goes and they go, here, we have 35 phones that we need you to unlock, they go, okay, I can't unlock them. I don't have the keys to it. There's no way for me to open them. I don't have the ability to do that.
Legal.
I purposely didn't leave myself away.
Exactly.
Legal.
That's their whole thing is they went, I don't even have keys for myself.
Don't let them fool you.
You had this
keys.
person had
They have keys.
Okay. I'm sure there are ways to, yes. You could tear apart,
but you can't prove they have keys.
They could tear apart the software and make it so they're vulnerable.
No, you're missing
okay.
You're missing the point. You're missing the whole point.
Why would they do that?
Emphasis is on the word illegal. The FBI can't do anything because anything they could do would be illegal. The software is out. The software is
okay. So
why do you think people still steal phones?
So let me see if I get this right. This is the thing, though.
It's really easy to open it up and wipe it clean.
So you're saying essentially that those people can't do it because that's more of a legal side. So you would say that something like the NSA or the CIA, they would do that.
They can do it illegally.
Okay, so that's what I was going to say.
No Black Ops shit, Shadow Project, no problem.
No, but that's what I was going to say. It's the whole point is that those people they pay to get these holes in the software that people can exploit. And they get
you're telling me Huawei
vulnerabilities.
Has no way to do
no. So then they have this. Then they have this little.
Backdoor means
Huawei is from another country.
Yeah.
So they go. There may be a backdoor, but you can't have it, and we're not giving it to you, and we're not in your country, so you can't make us.
But this is the thing. Even with that, if there's a way to get in, someone will find a way.
Yeah.
So you can't. You have to build software where there's no way to get in.
It's true.
Okay, nobody would do that.
That's what they do.
I don't think it's been built yet.
No programmer would build software that he had no way into.
Why? Why would, especially if you're talking about something for encryption, why would you want to be able to unlock this random person over here's encryption, encrypted messages?
It's not.
You want to block yourself out of that because then that gives credibility to Apple and goes, hey, we're not spying on you, man. We don't have a way to spy on you.
That's a billboard for...
No, man. Encryption software doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You go, look, this AI software has this. This is not a person looking at it. It's not taking any information from it. It's authenticating.
There's a reason why encryption software isn't perfect. There's a reason why
it's not.
People's identities still get stolen because there's encryption software all over the entire internet.
Yeah, but there's unencrypted stuff.
And people are just running through this shit.
Shout out to VPNs.
Free fall.
Yeah, but all you have to do is log into McDonald's Wi-Fi and someone on that Wi-Fi can know all of your login information that you just logged in with because you went into something that was unencrypted. It's easy to get information.
That's the point. So anything that is encrypted is just a level of how safe it is. It's how thick your safe door is.
But a password that you're giving online is different than a picture that I take on my phone or that I message to somebody.
No.
Because that's not online.
No, it doesn't matter.
I'm not giving that information.
No, but your phone is connected to the internet. It's too late. Your phone's already connected to the internet. Live stream right now.
Okay.
So I guarantee your phone is listening to you right now.
I don't know about that.
It is, and it's deciding what
conspiracy podcast.
Come on, man. How often have you had a private conversation with a person, and 10 minutes later your phone was like, "Here's a story about this thing you were just discussing." There's not a question of if it's listening to you. That's obvious.
Okay, but all the companies do. If we're going to put it that way.
Yeah, but
that's not a unique thing. That's one purple.
That's in everybody's phone is doing that.
But it's
everyone.
It gives you credibility to be able to say that. I mean, to be able to say that you're not listening to somebody. You don't want to have that liability as a company.
Do you really believe that
they aren't?
That Apple has built this device that they're using to collect all of your information and they're just not using any of it?
They don't, wait,
they
hold
don't
on.
need
time
to
out,
use
time
that.
Out.
Of course they are.
Time out. We already talked about the story where they had a FaceTime problem, where even if you didn't accept a FaceTime call,
that's a bug in software.
It would stream the audio.
That's a bug in the software, and then they patch it. Of course, there's no. Okay, so if we're gonna have an argument, if we're gonna have an argument over
almost a decade
over
now.
software,
how do you think this bug got there?
Dude, Intel, all Windows computers,
Yeah.
The FBI just came out and said all Windows computers need to update to the newest update because there's a giant hole in Intel's one of Intel's motherboards that's millions of people are affected that can allow hackers to get it. So we're not talking about code.
All they're doing is finding
there are always going to be
you never catch a hacker. He either doesn't get in and you blocked him, firewall. Or he does get in and nobody fucking knows.
That is a whole different thing than someone saying, "Hey, I'm just going to access your information." Someone getting in and then them finding that and patching that. That's different than someone going, "Here, let me just give up all of your messages."
Yeah, but they've already done that. They've already tried it as many ways as they can possibly muster up to try and stop people from getting in. Come on, it's the biggest,
and they keep doing it.
Shit. You can get, what's it called? LifeLock. You can get fucking insurance for that shit now.
What we're really discussing here is it's a matter of whether it's an accident or not. Whether this is an error or a purposeful... Whether there's an error that leaves a gap or whether there's a purposeful door left open.
Conspiracy talk.
Right. Right, and you don't want to leave a purposeful door open. So that someone can get in. That's
you want to leave the closed door that you have the keys to.
My point is, doesn't matter how big your door is, how many locks you got.
Someone's gonna brute hack that to fucking hell, and they're eventually gonna get in. That's why you can't have that.
Doesn't matter if there's not a door or not. People still get in places. Build a room.
I don't know. As far as high level software and programming, I mean, I can't speak to that. I don't think that they do. I'm sure that
I can, just because I understand computer software.
No, there's
phones are very high level of computer.
Okay, I understand. But this is much higher level programming than I think you or I understand.
Have you not seen any robot movie ever? Okay, it's always the AI, right, that grows itself, and then it's always the people that have to shut it down. Man, come on, circle back to robot semantics. Thank you very much.
Back to robot semantics.
We need to smoke something.
Yeah,
we do. Perfect time for a commercial. Ha! They have to listen to the whole beginning of this to find out where I said commercial.
Wait, yeah.
Now we're going to smoke more weed.
And now we're going to smoke more weed.
I said commercial hella early in the last one.
That was a good setup.
So we can do one of the commercial reads.
I like the
live.
Oh, let's talk about.
We can't do both.
Oh, I thought we were going to talk about strategy live.
Next time we do a commercial, I think we should just work it in like it's part of the conversation because we could.
We can only do one of them. That way, the other ones are pre-recorded.
I think pre-recorded ones are ass unless they're already good. Let's just.
Of course they're not already good.
That's why we can redo them.
One of them's good. One of them's okay.
Well, what if, instead of me taking the thing and just reading as fast as I can, like the Micro Machines guy, going down through the commercial, reading all things like that, we can read a little bit, talk, read some more, talk. I can read off of the script and we can talk about that without it just sounding like I'm reading something as fast as I can.
That's what I mean. Even the one where I talked to you was better.
Yeah, that was better. We should have been doing that through the whole thing.
I do like that we are having...
When you play, especially when you play them side by side in an episode, you hear one and then hear the other one, and you're like, okay.
Truly, this whole thing we've just done for the last couple of minutes should be counted as a commercial.
That's probably true.
But it's fucking not. Yeah. But it should be. What is wrong with this PBR? I thought that was a label that was going to turn colors when it went cold. It's not printed.
It's not printed, dog.
These are Chinese knockoffs.
You like that?
It's written in Chinese. I don't understand.
You like that? These are the fucking exclusive edition PBRs that they only sell back in alleyways.
I guess. There's no fucking label.
No, it's something they're doing. I honestly forgot.
Blue shit in the background. It doesn't actually say
is it a print error?
The whole thing?
No, it's just the logo.
Alright, we're going to pay this building.
Okay.
This shit isn't even lit anymore.
Yeah, so, I mean, you can hit it.
Start talking.
Oh, well, I mean, if you like us, the Seattle Smoke Show, I mean, the Podcoin app pays you to listen to this podcast and every podcast.
They've been paying us, since day one. We keep watching it every time. Going, how much money do we make? 50 more cents.
That's a different one, David. This is a different one. This is the one where we donate stuff.
Not that.
Oh, that's 7 cool. Acres. No, we give away rainforest and shit.
Yeah,
we get to be superheroes because
right. It's the Podcoin app.
I want the ironic ones though.
Hey, since we were just talking about iPhone or Android, I can talk. Mm-hmm. The Podcoin app is free on both of those platforms. I don't know if it's on Huawei. It might be on Huawei.
Dude,
everything's on Huawei.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. Except for the NSA. Everything else is on Huawei.
They're on there. They just don't know how to get it out.
They just don't know who else is listening.
Right.
Problem.
Shit, we even made Huawei.
But you can use Podcoin when you listen to it. You get you get coins for however so many minutes you use, and after a while, you can use them to donate, to claim gift cards or donate to charity.
So you can just turn it on while you're listening to us bullshit, and
that's true.
Well, that's how you can be listening to it right now, and you can be doing other shit. That's what I like about it. Is I can do it has the background music, so I can just get out and be doing other shit.
Get out.
If I need to be in maps,
still doing the Podcoin thing.
Yeah, and I'm still listening.
Nice.
That seems super convenient.
Coining.
I like that a lot. And I don't have to pay it. And YouTube makes you pay to do that kind of shit, which is dumb.
You should hit that joint.
Oh, yeah.
This is a diamond tip, gold leaf, and polar ice tracks.
Oh, it's nice. Keep going.
It's really, really nice.
Oh, God.
But
so
if you do not use Podcoin, and you want to go ahead and check it out, you can check it out on the Google Store or the App Store. Just use our name, Seattle Smoke Show, and you'll get 300 Podcoins just for signing up.
300 Podcoins, bro. What can I get for that? Can I save?
Well, it's 109. I was going to actually do the math on that. So 300 Podcoins times 109 square feet. That is 32,700 square feet of rainforest.
Nice.
You could save.
Right.
Just
you
by
could be like
signing
a
up
super
right now.
duper hero. Captain America never saved no
30,000
30,000
square
square feet of rainforest.
If you say, hey,
You know
fuck
what?
the earth.
He didn't do nothing. Captain America doesn't even love the
Still
rainforest.
fucked up.
He's all about the cities. Fuck him and his pollution shit.
Pollution shit.
I'm kidding. Captain America should pay more attention to the rainforest.
He should.
He should.
The only captain I know is Captain Planet.
Okay? There you go. And he's all about the rainforest.
Captain Marvel.
Right?
Who? Yeah.
No.
Is that what
What else
Disney
you
said?
got? What else you got?
Well, that was the only other ad.
That was the whole ad? That was an ad?
That was an ad.
It's a pretty good ad. Shout out to Podcoins.
The other ads we can redo, but we have to pre-record it.
Do we though?
Yeah.
What is life?
What
Was
is
that
that?
one pre-recorded?
No.
I mean,
Yes,
obviously
it was. We threw it in there sometimes, but
We just recorded it just
Yeah.
Nothing was pre-recorded.
yeah, but the other
We are live, people.
the other two ads that we have are pre-recorded.
Okay,
They're
well,
inserts.
that's because you wanted me to read them like the Micro Machines, man.
Well, we can redo them. I said.
That's because they're like, we need a 30-second ad. Here's 2 minutes worth of stuff to read.
Well, as a sample, you can also
Where's the other
you
way
can
around?
switch it up a little bit. That's what I'm saying. We'll redo it. It's not a big
You
deal.
don't need to redo it.
These are going to
We
be
don't need to
new
redo it.
ads for you
First take,
guys
only
coming
take.
to you live.
Except, not at all.
Couple days late.
Coming to you live 3 days from now.
Serious. You know what? We were live somewhere.
All right. Oh, I forgot. Speaking of being live, I'm sorry I have to ask you guys. Should I be worried about having enough straight pride? Should I be worried?
I think honestly,
somebody told me I need
No.
more straight pride. I don't know
honestly, I
need
think
more
we need
straight pride.
more straight.
I think we need a
Go to the
parade.
Macy's parade.
I think we
Is
need a
that straight
parade.
pride? I think so. Okay.
Yeah.
It's not.
It is.
It's not.
I don't know.
So,
I
I
argue.
don't
You
know
know
if somebody's straight on.
I'm gonna argue with you on parades being straight.
okay, all right. I got.
Is he gonna pull up? Is he gonna pull up Carnival in Brazil? I wonder.
I think
No.
all parades.
Other countries
Carry
don't
on
count.
a little bit gay, right?
No, there is some people that want to do a straight parade and they're getting bashed online.
Yeah, because it's horrible.
It is a horrible.
So,
Jesus.
That's what Carnival is in
Seattle.
Brazil, dummies.
in Seattle, every year's the Gay Pride Parade. It's great. But Seattle also has the Seafair Pirate Parade,
It's true.
where grown men wear blouses, and the Summer Solstice Parade, where people get naked, paint themselves vibrant colors, and ride bicycles.
Pretty good.
You know you live in a
That's
gay
pretty
city
gay.
when the Gay Pride Parade is the city's third gayest parade.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's Sam Heft-Luffley, the fake Sam. He's apparently a stand-up comedian. But
But it's true.
Casey sent me that today. It was like, yeah, Gay Pride Parade is like the third gayest. And I was like, wow, that really is like the third gayest parade that we. So I guess parades are.
I mean, I don't approve of any
Inherently
of those things. No.
Like, what's a parade
Okay,
without a drag
so-
queen? You
so-
can't really call yourself a parade.
That's
if you're
true.
not
So,
a drag queen.
yeah, so it
It's not
brings me
designer
back.
thing.
Yeah, it brings me back to my original
They gotta be
question.
on the top.
Okay.
They gotta be
We
throwing out
need,
candy or shit.
Yeah,
Why is there not more candy throwing in parades?
that's what I remember as a kid. That was
Dude,
it.
100%. 4th of
Somebody
July.
should come along
Yeah,
and throw me
because-
candy, and I was going to elbow some other kid younger than
Exactly.
me. and get some.
Hit him in the eyeball. I don't care.
Because it encouraged kids to take candy from strangers. Okay.
No, only when there's large groups of people around and they're throwing it at them.
Dude, we should totally get your van running for the next parade.
No.
Just have the door slit open and be like, "Yo, on candy,"
Yeah.
and throw it out
You know
at the very back of the parade.
Right.
Just have baskets of candy. You gotta like right in the corner, so they gotta come up and grab it over the door.
There, go get some candy.
Horrible.
James would do it.
I would not. You'd have to pay me a lot of money.
Oh no, I would do it. I would do it in drag, and that would be
there. You go. You did it a lot more. But my original question was, do I need more straight pride? Because all these pride parades are so homosexual. Is it unbalancing the scales?
For one day.
No. Oh god.
Look,
I don't think
it's not unbalancing the scales because it is a congregation of gay or gay-friendly people in a gay or gay-friendly neighborhood already, marching through a gay or gay-friendly city towards the gayest part of said city so that they can have a big party at the end of the parade. This is not more concentration than normal. This is already a very gay and gay-friendly place that they are doing this.
Well, there's definitely more.
The argument is different when you talk about a gay pride parade.
There's more concentration
in like Little Rock. Okay, that's going to be a little bit different.
Would you say that there is a higher density of stoners during Hempfest?
In one portion of
Seattle.
the city. In one portion of the city. However, that spot in the city where Hempfest is held is not known for being a stoner mecca.
It's a homeless mecca.
Okay? Perhaps. But what I'm saying is the
Different
parade
kind of
ends in Capitol Hill. That is like a gay mecca of a gay place. Like
on the ground, it is rainbow colored.
Right, the crosswalks are rainbow colored. It makes it as obvious as it can be that this is a whole gay-friendly neighborhood.
Okay, we're almost getting to my point. Okay, forget all this.
What is it's called the Unicorn in that same district. It has fucking really good bar food.
My whole point was it made me think that all parades are inherently gay. All right,
well, I'm sure there's KKK parades
inherently. Right? I don't think there's ever been a straight parade.
There's still probably though.
What would a straight parade look like?
Hummers. Fucking. Actually, there are parades. There are parades. They're just not down Main Street. They're out in the country where there's like 30 different trucks and they're like plowing through mud and fucking drinking beer.
For one thing, you can't have a marching band because
you can't have a marching band that has the music. There can't really be music at all.
NASCAR.
You can have music. I played in a marching band. Now again, the outfits were super good, but like very flamboyant. I mean, call it what you will.
If they have any bit of flair,
right? It was very full of flair. But the music that we
played, nothing wrong with that.
Not.
You need a little
the
flair.
Music that we played was classic rock and really, really classic country folk stuff.
Well, it was during the '60s,
which was appropriate to the area that we were in the Ozark Hills in Arkansas.
Mm-hmm. And I was
in the '60s and '70s when you grew up.
It's probably about as flashy as they got.
In the fucking '90s.
You're like 50.
This is when Nirvana was popular.
Mm.
This when we were playing classic rock and like country folk, like Cotton Eye Joe. Yeah. That was our big hit.
Not a big fan of country
because it was like one of the fastest songs that we played.
The only country I like is
fastest.
Yeah, we played that, and we played.
You would like that song.
We played Barbara Ann.
That is a garbage song.
And it was a lot of fun.
Objectively, just objectively.
But my time in high school band was nice because it was a very small band, and there were only 4 of us percussionists. So whatever we wanted to do, we just did.
Anybody? Okay. Percussionists.
Hey, we still have buddies that say words wrong.
I said percussionists.
We get it? Because they're percussionists? Yeah, I like it though.
You missed the joke.
Yeah. It's a band joke.
It's a band joke. This one time.
A band camp?
At a band camp. No, that's a story for another time. But whatever we wanted to do, once we realized how much power we had in the band, that he really just couldn't replace us.
Band power.
We were like, you know what? There may be a weak point in every other group of musicians in this band, so they have to play down to that weak point. But we don't have a weak point in the percussion section. We're all really good.
Yeah.
And so
we just fucking kill it.
Way overcomplicated our music. We like wrote all of our own shit. We wrote our own cadences. We came up with our own music for like every single song. We marched with everybody else. We did with everybody else, but we played much more complex shit than the whole rest of the band.
Fucking crushed it the whole time.
But there's only 4 of us to be in sync. and only 2 of us are playing the same instrument. There was 2 snare drums that it was first and second chair, and we were like on it. And then the third guy played a pair of quads, quad toms, and the fourth chair played bass drum.
Yeah, so you guys just crushed it all the time.
We did. There were crash cymbals attached to the snare drums, so we played on the snare drum and had a cymbal up there because we didn't have anybody to carry cymbals to play it.
Damn. You guys were the rock stars of a town of 100 people.
Fucking
2,697.
You were selling out the local McDonald's. They had 13 seats.
They didn't even have a McDonald's in that town. That's a soft. That
Walmart
hurts.
then.
It hurts. There wasn't.
Of course,
it wasn't a super center. But there was
the stadium seated 500 and never sold out. Right?
Yes. I don't think it seated that many people. There were only bleachers. There were aluminum bleachers on one side of the field.
Yeah,
2 rows.
There weren't even
20 feet apart.
People just brought lawn chairs.
Seriously. 5 beer.
God.
We took up about a fifth of we took up about 20% of the stand as the high school band, and there were probably 40 of us.
Yeah.
So it didn't seat 500.
And close.
Maybe 250. Yeah. It was not a big place, but it was the biggest place in the county.
Yeah.
That's what made it so small. Not that 2,600 people
that was downtown.
Smaller than every other town out there. There are smaller towns than that. There's a lot of smaller towns around there than that. But what makes that so small is that was the largest town in the county. That was the center of commerce for that area. And it was 2,600.
So I was going to say, actually, that high school was probably where, if there was ever a disaster, that's where people would go.
Yes. We built tornado proofs, in quotation marks, rooms at the school. I actually helped build them after I graduated when I did concrete masonry. But they're
gone now.
No.
Tornado.
Believe it or not. Tornado came straight. I looked at these and went, it's cool that we're building something like this, but a tornado is the fucking hand of God. If it just decides it wants to snatch this out of the ground, this building's gone. Yeah. I don't know. It's cool that we're building a safer room, but there's no such thing as a safer. Tornado came right through the middle of this school, and everyone in this room was fine. But it had a foundation that, imagine a square bowl turned upside down and dug down into the ground. So it's a super deep trench with a raised middle. That whole thing is filled in with cement to make a foundation with rebar running through every bit of it. And then that rebar comes up out of that foundation and makes the 4 walls as well. So the walls and the foundation in that inverted bowl is all one solid piece of concrete with rebar running through.
So really their whole strategy is, there's no way you can lift us fuckers.
Right. And then they put a steel beam roof on it that the steel beams went into the top edges of the concrete.
Yeah.
And when a tornado came through, school was not in session, but there were like 10 staff members there or something like that. And they all went to the room and the school got fucking demolished, and that room was fine. They were all fine. Now, it did not literally go straight over the middle of them, but it demolished the whole school around them because of the winds and stuff. And it went through a chunk of the school.
My freshman year of high school, I was out in Virginia at a dorm school.
They get tornadoes in Virginia and hurricanes.
That's shitty. We had a hurricane come through, and we were in. It basically passed through, and then we were in the eye for about 30 minutes or so, and then it passed through again. It wasn't too bad, but the whole entire the dormitory was all made out of concrete and dug into the ground. There's no chance of it getting ripped up at all, so we weren't even worried about it. But we just had to shut all the doors, and they barred everything. But we went down to the basement.
Came back up.
Dude, it fucked up hella trees. There's a bunch of shit all fucked up. The gazebo was gone. They built that shit the next day. Gazebos are easy to build.
Yeah.
So
it's pretty up.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Tornadoes are just fucked up. 2 of them went through my neighbor's house, 200 yards from my mom's house. 0 damage to my mom's house. His house, it was a 2-story house, on the edge of a cliff, edge of a maybe 20-foot high cliff, overlooking a deep creek, not quite a river. And it literally looked like something had picked his house up off the ground, crumpled it up like crackers, and laid it back down in a pile. Like, you could tell that this was a pile of trash that used to be a house, but there was no roof on top. There was no walls standing. It was completely demolished. It was crazy. And it didn't throw it all over the place. It was all still within 100 feet of where it started, except for maybe like little bitty tiny light stuff. But most of the house was right there where it started. It had just been destroyed and left in a pile.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. And again, my mom's house, no more than 200 yards away, 0 damage.
It's pretty fucking wild, man.
It's weird.
That's what happens when you live out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
I don't recommend it. If you want to live somewhere where the weather's fucking great, go to fucking Seattle, Washington. Look, it
was a little too hot a couple days ago.
It rains. Occasionally, it's a little warm in the summer.
It was 92. It was
92. Everybody was like, fuck this.
It can be a little warm in the summer, but it's not that way the whole summer. No one here even has AC.
That's
why
they're
bitching, because no one
they
here
do now. They're all
has AC.
Two
I have
bitches.
fans in my house. It's
two.
cold in my living room right now. But
yeah, it's like 60 degrees outside. It's
58
right.
And it was 90 yesterday.
Right.
Okay, you can't complain because it's hot for a day.
I like to have my house,
but the weather here's never trying to murder you. We never have a hurricane. We never have a tornado. Not in Seattle. Not in the greater Seattle area. Occasionally flooding, but not in town.
No, you get an earthquake.
You do
like
if you get way out, there's some. I've never had a flood where it came in the front door of my house since I moved here 15 years ago.
And not in a while.
15 years? 2006.
Yeah.
You get
13.
You get an earthquake in this motherfucker, though.
Yeah, not in 13 years I haven't.
Dude.
You want to know how many tornadoes have been through the county that I lived in since that time? Hundreds.
Damn.
So do you remember
multiple times every year?
That's
remember
just
the
like
one
the fuck you reach
when we were when we were kids? Do you remember the one that was out in the Puget Sound? That was like the 6.9, big giant earthquake.
I didn't know it was out there, but sure.
Yeah. It was like 22 years ago. I mean, maybe a little less than that.
I was in fucking.
But dude, I remember. Yeah, I was in elementary school. But we got under our desk at first, and it kept going. And teacher was like, "All right, everybody outside," because we had like a door to the outside right by our classroom. And we went outside by the flagpole, and I remember the flagpole going like this, and the ground just like it looked like waves. Just like and the flagpole was like it was like almost hitting the ground, and like just the whole entire ground it was just like waves, and we were like, what the fuck? Like
I was in
she's
school.
like, watch your mouth, fuck you, we're all gonna die.
Serious.
They
let us out of school early that day, and my dad actually worked out on an island out. It was like 3 or 4 miles from the epicenter, and there was like cracks in the walls from this concrete structure. Like, there was big, giant cracks, and shit got fucked up there. But
there's some shit. I was in school, too, man. All I remember was I was in the fucking library, and they did the same shit. They made us high on the tables, but we were on, like, the 3rd floor, so they don't want to evacuate the building. There should be, like, a panic.
Yeah.
So everybody just got on their tables, and I remember, because I was in the library, it was just, like, a minute and a half, 2 minutes of just books falling out of shelves from different levels, just all around the library, just falling. It was just weird. It was like a rain of books. Just none of the windows broke, nothing like that. Everything just fucking shook, and all the books fell out. And he kind of just got up after it was done. Everybody was like, all right, well.
I've never been in school when there was a tornado. I've seen a few. I saw that one that I was talking about that went near my mom's house. We saw it from a long ways off. And I've seen a bunch of them in the flatlands of Arkansas, because you can see for miles. You can see like down the Mississippi River Delta, they get tornadoes through there all the time, and you can see a long ways off, so you can see them coming. And I've seen a bunch of them like that, but
sometimes they just fucking appear.
That's true. Well, they start somewhere. They always start somewhere.
Yeah. No, I've seen cyclones. I've seen them start. I've seen them not quite touch. Like where it starts going, because it spins at the top and then it spins at the bottom a little bit, and then it connects, and then there's a twister. But I've seen them like not quite touch before, and like stop basically. But
they went.
They just and they were like,
no, we touch tips. I like it.
I'm rethinking this whole thing.
We had one. We believe what happened was that a tornado started over our house, but. We had a kilo on the top of the house. Do you know what it is?
No.
It's like a little square structure that sits on your roof that has like a wind vane on top of it. It looks like a little mini house that sits on top of your house.
Huh. No.
rich people have them on top of their houses, and poor people who want to look rich, who are buying a house they can barely afford, put them on top of their houses. So we had one on top of our house.
I feel like that's what a cell phone's for.
This was in like
50s, 40s,
87,
late 30s.
But late 30s.
Gotcha.
But the cupola just spun off the top of the house,
Dang.
like spinning, and landed on the hood of my sister's car. She fucked her car all up.
Dang.
But no house got destroyed or anything. It just snatched that one thing off of our roof, and we were sitting there in the living room because we watched a storm. So when there's a storm, we would open the windows and watch them. We were like, wow, like this is a crazy storm. There's tornado warnings on the television and stuff, and we're like, hope we don't die. We don't have a storm cellar or anything, so we're just gonna sit here and watch it and hope we don't die. And while we were watching, this thing comes spinning off the roof, on my sister's, she had like a Nissan 240 or something like that.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
87 would have been later. That'd have been early 90s.
Ooh, that reminds me.
See, timelines are already changing. I don't know.
Well, I was thinking about when she had that car. It would have been early 90s.
Before or after Hillary died?
Wait a minute. Like, you mean like historically died or like Discovery Channel died? Because it's different.
You know, I'll let you decide. It'll say a lot.
Is it Discovery History Channel? One of those.
Yeah. Finding Hitler
thing. They're convinced he went south America.
Yeah, but then they weren't. They were like, no, that didn't happen. But there is a shit ton of Germans who are ex-Nazis in South America.
Right. A lot of them went there. A lot of them escaped there, apparently.
A lot of them came to the U.S.
But not him.
Yeah, not him.
So you guys want to do some drugs?
Sure.
Grab the container with the red lid.
Ooh, drugs. For bad motherfuckers that want to get high.
It sounds weird.
That's what. Look at it.
Who's advertising drugs?
Sell them at my store. $25 a gram.
Oh yeah, put that up on Instagram. Shout out to our Instagram, seattlesmokeshow.
Serious. Be up there.
Drugs is hash and oil wrapped around a bud. It's kind of like moon rocks. Actually, it's very similar to moon rocks. And we're gonna put some on top of a bowl of Pagoda Premium Indoor Master Yoda.
You're just saying words. Say that again?
Pagoda Premium Indoor is the brand. The strain is Master Yoda.
Master Yoda?
Yoda.
What
are you, fucking not a geek or something?
I just heard that wrong. Yoda.
Fuck is Yoda?
I was gonna say, it sounds like a bootleg game.
Your computer screen went dark. Does that mean anything?
Maybe just
we prefer
touch
afternoon.
the little thing a little bit.
Alright, so my wife sit down and wrote a list of stories. Just things that we've heard, or me, one or the other has done or seen, just stories.
Do you want to do that?
Here, since you don't know what any of them actually are, pick one of those off of there. There's like a list of like 30 things that don't mean anything.
This is ridiculous.
It doesn't make any sense.
The first one in general.
But there'll be some kind of story that goes behind each one of those pointless little phrases.
The very first one, oh my god, is poop knife.
Poop knife. So, this is one I heard on the radio. This guy. Oh, shit. This guy.
Yeah, we should save some of this for the next episode. Save some of this for the next episode.
There's like 30 of them.
Yeah.
So, this guy has a friend over at his house, and the guy, can I use the bathroom? Sure. He goes in the bathroom. He's in there for like a while, like a really long while.
Like a heroin long while, or
yeah. And his buddy, he gets kind of worried about him, and he's like, "Hey man, you okay in there?" And he's like, I can't. Where's your poop knife?" He's like,
"Oh god,
what?
Brutal.
Your poop knife, man. I can't find one in here."
What?
Man, I don't. So what it was, and he thought this was super normal. Okay, he and his family were known for having very large, solid turd shits. So in their house, it was customary to keep a long knife in the bathroom so you could cut up your turds so that they would actually flush. And he thought, because this is where he was raised, that this was just normal, that everyone had a poop knife in their bathroom. Well, how do you not have a poop knife in your bathroom? Like, why would you not? How do you cut up your turds to flush them?
It's brutal.
That's terrible.
That's a monster poop family.
That is
Monster poops.
They need to stop.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Were they like
Poop cop.
I mean, can you
Poop
describe this family?
Poop podcast.
He
That's
didn't
worse than
decide.
Size-wise?
This was on the radio.
Are they like are they like
Massive
7'5",
people? I don't know.
800-pound people or something? Like
Everyone who's 7'5"
modern
is at
plumbing.
least 800 pounds.
They gotta be.
Wow. Disrespectful to tall people. First
No,
of
I
all.
was just saying.
Hey, technically, by size and weight, that's probably somewhere near
Somewhere near.
7'5".
A healthy BMI? No, it's putting you like just under 300.
No.
Probably like 9.
How much does Yao Ming weigh? I bet he's 300.
He's probably overweight.
Well,
Yeah, I'm sure he's unhealthy.
Shaq.
Shaq? Shaq's.
What's 2/3 of Shaq's weight?
10%. 10% of everyone who is over 7 feet tall are in the NBA.
Yeah, because
You know what?
because
Casey
that
told me-
population is less than
Casey told me I was
0.1% of the
being
population.
racist, sort of racist yesterday. I was standing in Higher Leaf, and these 4 dudes walked in, 4 white dudes. All 4 of them were significantly taller than me. The shortest one was like 3 inches taller than me, and I was like, "That's a basketball team or something." She's like, it's horrible that you would just assume that. Like,
Yeah,
that's
just
almost
gross.
like racist. And I'm like,
Tall people.
for one thing, they're white, and all of them, all 4 of them, and like.
They're probably just Swedish.
They're
That's
hanging out
racist.
together, and she's like, maybe they're brothers. And I'm like, look, that one has like a little like turned up round face button nose. That dude's got like a hawk nose. This dude's got like a super
What you're
Roman
saying is no
looking.
way. No
like,
way
these
they're.
guys are not related. Maybe a couple of them, but not all 4 of them.
Yeah, it's basketball.
Like, that's got to be a basket. There's no way 4 people that fucking
Soccer
tall are hanging out and they're not doing some kind of sports together. Not only were they all tall, they were all relatively well built. Not
Lacrosse.
like, maybe.
No, big.
That's big motherfuckers for lacrosse.
Badminton.
No.
Volleyball.
No. You know what it is? Big people.
Volleyball.
No, they weren't lean enough. I don't think.
No, you know what it is? Big people just hang out together. Okay.
Maybe.
Mini
Maybe
golf
that's it.
players.
No, you have big friends who are just friends because they're big.
What if they were playing? What if like the tallest people on Earth played mini golf?
They do.
Honestly,
all of them play golf.
honestly-
Part of that is
honestly,
Yeah, but
my
mini-
good friends are
mini-
some of my
mini
best
golf.
friends ever.
Because the
Shout out to
pucks
them.
are even small, or the fucking what are they called? The clubs are like half the size of regular clubs, and they're twice the size of
they
normal
just
people.
strap it to their calf,
So they just like held it with one hand and they try to.
run back and Happy Gilmore and shit.
I don't even know what that means. Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
James said you started to
I
go
got-
down a racist route.
Yeah. Different.
He said, "Watch yourself." He's like, "You're like edging."
No, not edging at all.
For Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, you might. Isn't there a teacher in that? A teacher?
It's true.
Are you looking for racism in America?
Yeah.
What?
It should be our new segment.
Looking for racism,
And non-racist stories.
Ooh, I found the racism. There it is.
There it is.
That's a good point.
It's ridiculous.
Dude, if you want to, I have a good one for that. The
Oh god.
I found it again.
no, so on the whole like that bomb, the oil tankers that got bombed.
Oh god. Here we go.
Yeah,
no,
Let's
no,
go.
but I
I heard a
remember
little bit about that. Yeah.
Not even,
I wanna
not
know
even
how
about
it
that
ties in.
story. Not even really about that story.
God, where do you start there?
But if you look at the comments underneath most of the stories, they're just like,
they have
I wonder. Well, look at this. It's probably the Israel that did this.
Yeah.
It's a black flag operation. You know, this is all false just to get oil up in price. Meanwhile, it's only 4% up. I mean, I like it to get a little more. I do have some oil companies in my stock. I like to sell them.
Jesus. In your
I'm just saying, it didn't even help.
0.0525.
They dropped immediately. Damn it, Israel! If you're gonna do it, like help me out a little. You know, make them
Shit,
rise
get
to
off the
25%. I could have bought some. I could have sold the stock real quick.
No.
Made some up
So-
That's called
We're
insider
smoking
trading. That's illegal.
That's not
Drugs
insider.
on top
That's
of
not
Master
illegal.
Yoda. How many times in your life do you get to say that you're smoking drugs on Master Yoda?
Twice
So far.
in this life. Yeah. Previously, I mean,
Sideways.
that's all I did.
It's a dumper.
It's a dumper.
Shout out to dumpers. You know,
Yeah.
I'm going to be unpopular in this.
They need poop knives.
Hey, apparently.
Oh,
Those are not the
you
dumpers.
take
on
the list. You take the list and find one.
Yeah. Because that is. Oh, God. Wait, what's 3 and 4?
Huh? 3 and 4? 7?
Oh, God.
But it is, though.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. All right, well.
Which one did you say?
Since Rick doesn't have shit, we didn't have a sports segment. That's all I'm saying. We can have a sports segment for people who don't watch sports. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
You like
I
that?
don't really watch sports. I watch football, but nothing else.
Sports segment.
Big one.
Are you going to bring up
What?
Toronto winning?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Do you think this broke the Drake curse?
Oh, God.
What's that?
So Drake,
Toronto has sports.
Yeah.
the Raptors.
Isn't that foreign?
Yes.
Isn't that like a foreign country?
They're like
Mhm.
half
Why are
us.
we even like talking about
It's like the first sister city, right?
Because they just beat the U.S. in basketball.
Toronto's been officially allowed to participate in American sports.
You know what?
For whatever
I
reason.
wish that American football was just open to the world so that when they were
It
like,
is.
we're world champions.
It is.
Pretty
You
much
come
is.
here.
Yeah,
No,
come
you
here.
try out. Try it out.
No, and play on an American team. This American team calls itself the world champions, but they're not. They're only playing against other American teams. If we had Chinese teams and Russian teams and
You know how they
English
get around
teams,
that? Well, they go to England. Now we're the world champions, bro.
do they play a team in England?
No, they play
They play
themselves.
in
No, we go.
They play American teams in a stadium.
We go over there and assert our dominance.
A couple times.
Right?
Okay.
We go flop our football dick out on
Yeah.
England soil
Yeah.
for one game.
For where they just
And they
say,
love it.
where they
Oh,
say
they
football, meaning American football, the entire time, just to be disrespectful.
Yeah. Do you know why?
To England.
You know why? Because it's the biggest beef between football and rugby.
Because rugby is much more hardcore.
I don't know. You put some rugby players in some pads. Let them play. I don't know.
Rugby players will punch you in the face.
12, 16 weeks. Okay. Plenty of
The
football players
clothes
do
on
that
you.
too.
Rugby
Even if
players,
you're married to them.
rugby
Clothes on
players
you.
hit that hard anyway without the pads.
Exactly. So they should be great football players, right?
Probably.
No.
I mean, do you really?
No. That's
A
like
rugby
saying
player?
that,
Probably.
no, what I'm saying, that would be like saying that a ninja would still do well as a knight because he's good with weapons and
No.
moving across the battlefield.
Exactly.
No, that's like
If you
saying
put him in knight's armor, he's not going to move the same. He's not going to be used to that. He's not going to be as good at that.
that's like someone who plays basketball. I don't know. Could also be a sports or a soccer player.
It's probably true.
Suppose they could, but those skills don't go together at all unless you're the goalie.
Yeah, but if you're transitioning towards playing that,
We're going to talk about transitioning
No.
athletes again.
Took it too easy.
are you?
That was a layup.
I couldn't resist.
My point is rugby versus football.
I'm just saying those are two things that are slightly similar.
I find football
Footwork.
more entertaining.
Footwork
and I
is
find rugby
important.
more hardcore.
I don't think rugby's as hardcore as people think it is.
I think people underestimate bowling.
Poland.
Bowling,
Oh, bowl.
bowling, and pool. The strategy involved,
Underestimate pool.
bro. Definitely.
It's been too long.
That's true.
We haven't played pool in a while. That is true.
Willing to crush you guys for free.
Pretty sure the last 3 times I've won every time. 50% of the time I
works.
won. I win 100% of the time.
I don't think it's accurate.
That is. Yeah.
If she told me your over under was 50%, I would definitely take the under.
I'd say.
Sorry, 50.5%. I would still take the under.
No, I disagree.
I'm sure you did.
But
I think David would scratch first, to be honest.
But if we had to bet on your scratch percentage, I would say
I
at
am.
least 1 out of every
4 games?
20, 30 shots, tops. Tops. You go low 20s. 1 out of every 20 shots.
And
is
I
probably
scratch.
getting close to
It's
a
probably
scratch.
about 4 games.
And
And I
I
need about 3 shots to beat you, so.
I'm putting my numbers way higher. My numbers are up in the 60s, 70s.
Yeah, right. You scratch all
I've
the
done
time.
weeks.
I guarantee
Weeks.
I scratch less than half as much as either one.
Doubt it.
I'd take the over.
Nah. Still
Less than half as much as either one.
it's definitely Rick.
It's not. Not at all.
Yes. Like, listen,
Only when it's on purpose. Sometimes you gotta throw a scratch. It makes things up.
Yeah, you appear mixed up. You're right.
Shout out to our pool segment in the future.
Maybe.
Dude, what do you need to do some pool, though?
Eventually. Until then, I'm just going to keep drinking these fucking beers here.
Serious.
Oh, we're still in our sports segment. Okay. Right? Talking about, wait, what did he say? Toronto? Yeah. Tickets. Tickets for courtside seats, okay? $160,000. $160,000.
Fuck that. Nobody's worth paying that to see.
For 3 hours of fun? 4 hours of fun? Tops?
Well, all that is there to do is to keep people who are not monstrously rich off the front row.
That's fine.
Which is ridiculous.
Hey, it's a private company. They can do what they want, right?
Oh, that's not even a private company. That's just somebody.
It is a private company.
Somebody selling their shit.
But that's also supply and demand.
People will pay that.
Yeah.
They'll sell out at that price.
No. Drake will pay that.
A playoff game would sell out at any price. If it was $10,000 a ticket, every single seat would sell.
I don't know.
It would.
Probably.
I mean, that's what it is for the Super Bowl. It's usually at least $10,000.
You get cheap tickets. Cheaper.
Yeah, but your whole trip's at least going to be $10,000. At the very least.
That's crazy.
Because usually the tickets are like $6,000 to $7,000 at the cheapest, and then you got airfare, and then you have. I mean, usually you have people spend at least a couple of days there, so you have a couple of nights of airfare.
Yeah, I live in that town.
Okay, then I guess maybe, but that's not usually how it works. It's in Arizona.
I bet a lot of the people.
No, they switch it up every year.
I know, but I bet a lot of the people in that stadium live in that town.
I don't think so. Not that live in that town. So you think the majority of people that go to
no, not the majority. A lot of them.
They don't have Super Bowls in towns.
There is
big cities.
There are, especially the Seahawks fans. Like they fly. There's a big.
We're talking
there's
about
a large
the largest cities in the
I
United
know,
States.
Fly
but
to
I'm saying
places.
that when the Super Bowl is on, I guarantee there are more people in the stands from the town it is being hosted at than there are from either of the opposing teams.
And you're saying the surrounding area.
That's good. Yeah.
There are more people from the hosting
Sure,
city
of course.
in that area
Probably.
than there are from either one of the teams who are playing there.
The only time I would argue which would be weird is if it was something like the Chargers and Rams and the Raiders situation where it's like San Diego and LA.
Yeah,
There's multiple different things.
If they have a Super Bowl in the
like,
Southwest, there's going to be a lot of Southwestians.
So you have 3 stadiums just right there. There's probably going to be because people that show up to like Arizona. So like when the Seahawks were
the East is just more sparsely popular.
So when the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl,
Florida all the way to New England, and that's a lot of different teams.
Right.
California and the Southwest.
So like the Super Bowl, when the Seahawks won, we were in Arizona at the Cardinal Stadium. That's who hosted the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
People flew down to go there. I mean, why does the Cardinals fans care about the Super Bowl? I mean, they might.
Everyone cares about the Super Bowl, and I still bet you there were more people from Arizona in that stadium than there were from Seattle or Denver.
I don't think so. I think those two towns easily.
Seattle and Denver when you're talking about it, right?
Yeah, I think easily Seattle and Denver. Seattle and Denver made up more people in that stadium than people from Arizona.
No. Maybe both put together, but I'm saying Seattle or Denver.
Yeah, but that's two
from
away
Arizona.
cities than the
There were
home.
more people from Arizona than there were from Seattle or Denver.
I just don't think so. I don't think so.
Do you think so?
I can see that.
That home
Someone
team.
Google us. Come on,
There's
some
no way.
loyal listener.
Dude, it's
person, correct us. Send us a voice message so we can play your ridiculous, crazy, screechy voice over the internet and make people think you're amazing.
Make you famous. No, but it's like Conor McGregor when he fights at the UFC at MGM Grand. All right, the huge giant amount of Irish people that come out from Ireland and that sell out. I mean, they're coming there and they're doing that. I mean, it's the same thing, just like
from Las Vegas. Okay, it may be a little different in Vegas. The MGM Grand, it may be a little different in Vegas because that is specifically a tourist place. Yeah. So a lot of the people that are there on a regular basis are not from.
I'd argue more people are probably from California.
True.
Right.
It's a worldwide
Works.
venue, though.
It is. That place I can say is, it's probably different in Vegas than it would be in a lot of other cities.
Yeah, but my point
If
is
the
people
Super Bowl
fly.
was in Vegas, it would not be full of people from Nevada.
Yeah, but my point is people fly to these events to be there. I mean, like the Khabib and Conor fight. I mean, people from Russia and Ireland flew to be there, to be at that stadium.
Still. That's
Why wouldn't people from Seattle and Denver fly to go to Arizona? That's cheap airfare. Probably more. I just think I don't know. I mean, that's a whole tourist thing. Now that whole city gets boosted, that whole economy gets boosted because people are flying there, spending money, spending places at restaurants, doing that. I mean, you'd almost want to say, fuck all the people in that town because we want to sell out all the
We don't
cities
need
to the
your
world.
money, we need their money.
Exactly.
Your money's here already.
Right.
Go eat a hot dog down the street.
So that's what I mean. I mean, there might be at times. It just kind of depends on where the Super Bowl would be held at, I would guess. Because if it was in New York and a New York team was playing it, well then I would 100% agree with you that more people from that hometown are. But if it's two random ass places,
when it's the Super Bowl, it's never in either team's.
It can be. It could be. There is a chance. Every year it gets switched around. So it can be Florida, it can be in Tennessee, it can be in Seattle, it can be wherever. If Seattle, the year that we host it, happens to get there, we host it on home turf. That'd be a huge advantage. I mean, that's what people would like to do. I think it's happened like once. There is the possibility of it.
A safeguard to prevent that.
I don't think
That's specific.
I don't think so because you're trying to be equal about it to everybody. So then you got to switch with somebody else. Like it's preset.
One of them gets to actually be the home team.
Yeah, but it's preset to where it's going to be at. That's what makes it equal because they had to fight to get to there. It may be equal at that certain point at that one game, but it wasn't equal the entire year.
If I was like stupid, filthy rich, I would like buy out the stadium.
Just like two people just chilling opposite sides. Hey, fuck you, Larry.
No, I'd buy it out.
Ron.
I'd buy it out and be like whichever team I wanted to win, I would give the tickets or sell them super cheap to only the home team. Only
oh my god! Somebody did something so petty.
You got a third party
50
sell.
50 Cent did something like that. 50 Cent was beef with somebody.
Oh yeah,
bought out tickets.
Jay-Z. He bought out the first two rows.
So they were empty.
So they were empty.
Yeah.
You know what? If you want to be a baller, you buy out the whole middle section. You buy out the whole fucking show. The first two rows, what the fuck ever. Hey, y'all come sit in the front row. There, now it's covered.
No, but still.
I don't know that they would let you do that though. And this is why. Because it's not necessarily about ticket sales. It's about concessions. How much people are spending. You get a percentage of that.
Okay.
So you don't want one person to buy out everything because he's only going to buy $10 worth of shit. You want every single seat to be completely filled with different people because they're all going to spend $10. That's $20,000. That's $200,000 more dollars. People are going to spend more than $10 at a stadium. But if it was just $10, that's $200K right there. And just that. That's not including tickets. You get a percentage of that. So you don't, I don't think they'd let you. There's probably a limit.
No, you probably
might be a large party.
No, because you're getting paid off ticket sales too.
But,
so at a certain point, it doesn't matter. Then you're just performing for them. Like you could have bought this. I'd still go out there and perform. Fuck it.
Yeah, but see, that's if that was
they tell me it's a sold out show, and I'm like,
so that was the thing.
I'm getting that bonus for getting a fat sold out show, and I show up and nobody's there. I'll probably still.
I mean, comedians do that. Comedians do that. So do politicians. They go in there and talk to them.
Who wants to see me?
Yeah,
I'm gonna do it.
There's at least one group of people.
I'll give you a show.
Yeah.
You one person who managed to get in the middle of the night and all this shit.
Crush it. I don't care if it's the fucking people who were working there.
Front.
Yeah, I don't care if it's the dudes who are working the concession stand that come out. And they're just like, all right, well, nobody's here. Guess I gotta watch the show. A smooth jazz outro.
You got a smooth jazz tempo?
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for coming to the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Skilly Bapu. Thanks.
Seattle Smoke Show brought to you by. This is a podcast comedy network. Seattle Smoke Show.
Yes, sir.